There's a question I get asked so often it's become like a refrain. How on earth do you still travel alone at your age? And every time, I smile and think, it's not about luck or good genes. Though those help, it's about choices, small, daily decisions that keep me independent, energized, and yes, still packing my bags and hopping on planes solo at 80. Just last month, I was in Lisbon, meandered through Alfama's cobblestone alleys, got delightfully lost, and struck up a conversation with a fisherman who didn't speak a word of English. We communicated in gestures and shared sardines. That's the magic I want for you. Now, I won't pretend it's always easy. There are mornings when my knees protest like creaky floorboards, or my suitcase feels like it's filled with bricks instead of blouses. But here's the truth I've carved into my bones over decades: age doesn't have to clip your wings. Not if you know the secrets to staying strong, sharp, and gloriously self-reliant. So today, I'm handing you the 5 keys to my independence, not as rigid rules, but as loving invitations. These are the same habits that let me navigate Rome's Termini station during a train strike, true story, trek through Vietnam's rice terraces last monsoon season, even handle that dreaded medical emergency form at airports without anxiety. Let's begin with the foundation. Your body is your travel agent, treat it well. When I turned 70, I had an epiphany at baggage claim. A woman my age struggled with her roller bag while her grandson rushed to help. "Oh, I can't possibly," she sighed. Right then, I vowed never to utter those words. Here's my no-nonsense routine. Morning mobility. Before coffee, I do what I call cat stretches, arch my back. Reach for imaginary shelves. Rotate ankles like drawing alphabet soup. Takes 4 minutes. Walking wisdom. I aim for 5.000 steps daily, not 10.000. That's a marketing gimmick. Secret? I walk after meals when blood sugar spikes. Doubles the benefits. Strength sneak-ins. Soup cans as weights during Jeopardy. Calf raises while washing dishes. My PT calls this habit stacking. Last year in Santorini, those calf raises meant I could climb 157 steps to my cliffside hotel while tour groups huffed behind me. Victory. But here's what nobody tells you. Pain isn't your enemy, fear is. My arthritis flares up, sure, so I pack Voltaren gel. Use hotel towels as ice packs. And, this is crucial, adjust without surrendering. In Kyoto, I swapped a temple hike for a sublime tea ceremony. Different joy, same independence. Now, the second secret. Your mind is your compass, keep it sharp. Picture this. You're in a Budapest pharmacy at midnight. Your allergy meds ran out. The pharmacist speaks Hungarian, and your phone dies. Do you freeze or problem solve? I train my brain like it's going to the Olympics. Language games. Before trips, I learn 10 key phrases plus the word help. Duolingo's 5-minute lessons while waiting for the microwave. Memory tricks. At museums, I play 3 details, notice a painting's odd cloud. The frame's chip, the guard's tie, recite them later. Decision drills. At restaurants, I quickly choose between 2 dishes. Sounds silly, but it combats menu paralysis that wastes energy. This mental agility saved me in Marrakesh when my map app failed. I remembered passing a distinctive blue door 15 minutes prior, used it as a landmark to backtrack. Felt like Sherlock Holmes, which flows perfectly into Secret 3. Fear is a lousy travel buddy, pack courage instead. My first solo trip after widowhood was a disaster. I booked a cozy Paris hotel that turned out to be a glorified closet. That first night, I cried into a croissant, then had the revelation. Discomfort isn't danger. Here's how I rebuilt my courage muscle. The 5-second rule. When anxiety whispers, don't go. I count backward from 5 and move. Physically interrupt hesitation. What if, flip. Instead of, what if I fall? I ask, what if I discover an amazing bookstore? Small braveries. Ate alone at a trattoria. Asked a stranger to take my photo. Each win fuels the next. Last year in Seoul, I got caught in rain without an umbrella. Instead of panicking, I ducked into a Jim Jilbang bathhouse. An hour later, I was wrapped in a cotton robe, sipping shiki tea with giggling grandmothers. Serendipity favors the bold. Now, here's where most travel advice fails. They ignore the emotional toolkit. Which brings me to my fourth secret, the one that stitches everything together. The morning light filtered through the lace curtains of my little Paris hotel room, casting delicate shadows on the worn wooden floor. I sat on the edge of the bed, hands trembling slightly as I tried to open the stubborn jam jar I'd bought at the market yesterday. For 20 minutes I struggled, twisting, tapping, even running the lid under hot water. When the young housekeeper knocked and offered help, I nearly snapped at her. "I can do it myself." But as the words left my mouth, I realized something profound. My white-knuckled grip on independence was actually limiting my freedom. This moment sparked what would become the cornerstone of my travel philosophy. Secret number 4. True independence isn't about doing everything alone, but about strategically choosing what to handle yourself and where to accept help. The art of selective acceptance. After that Paris jam jar incident, I developed a 3-tier system for evaluating assistance that has served me through dozens of countries. The energy audit. Every morning, I assess my independence budget, just like a financial budget. Some days, my 80-year-old body has abundant resources. Those are the days I hike Shinku Terra's cliffside paths. Other days, my reserves are low. That's when I happily let the nice young man at the Venice Vaporetto station help with my bag. The key is making these choices consciously rather than reflexively rejecting all help. The upgrade principle. I never simply accept help, I transform it into something more valuable. When a Tokyo subway employee assisted me with the ticket machine, I asked him to teach me one useful Japanese phrase in return. In Lisbon, when a cafe owner carried my tray, I got his recipe for the perfect pastel de nata. These exchanges leave both parties enriched. The 3-layer safety net. Before any trip, I identify one English-speaking doctor. I find them through expat Facebook groups. The nearest bench-filled park or quiet cafe for emergency rests. A home base hotel where staff know me. This system proved invaluable when I developed a urinary tract infection in Barcelona. Because I'd already located an English-speaking clinic near my hotel, what could have been a crisis became just a minor detour. The emotional backpack. Packing for the inner journey. No one warns you about the loneliness. That first solo trip after my husband passed, I wandered Prague's Christmas markets surrounded by laughing couples. The smell of Tridelnik suddenly nauseating rather than inviting. It wasn't the physical challenges that nearly broke me, it was the weight of unshared moments. This harsh lesson birthed secret number 5. Preparing your heart is as crucial as packing your bags. My emotional first aid kit. The 5 senses grounding technique. When homesickness strikes, I engage each sense. Sight. Photograph 3 beautiful details. Sound. Listen for the most interesting background noise. Touch. Feel the texture of my scarf or a nearby wall. Smell. Find and identify 2 distinct scents. Taste. Savor one local specialty slowly. This practice anchored me during a panic attack in Marrakesh's frenetic souks. Connection catalysts. I carry postcards from my hometown to gift helpful strangers. A small notebook with phrases like, "How do you say this in your language?" Photos of my grandchildren, the universal conversation starter. The why touchstone. A folded note in my wallet reads, "You're doing this to prove that life continues to be astonishing." When doubt creeps in, I unfold it and trace the words with my finger. When plans fall apart, the hidden gifts. The travel gods laughed when they sent that typhoon to Okinawa, stranding me for 3 extra days with only the clothes I was wearing. But that disaster became one of my most cherished memories. The hotel staff adopted me. The chef taught me to make perfect tempura, and I discovered that 80-year-olds can indeed sleep comfortably on tatami mats. Reframing mishaps. Missed connections become unplanned adventures. Physical limitations inspire creative solutions. Who knew a silk scarf could double as a back brace? Every challenge overcome adds another layer to your resilience. The independence mindset in action. Last winter in Vienna, I developed a system for museum visits that honors my limits while maximizing joy. 90-minute visits only, attention span and feet demand it. Always one luxury item. A guided headset or special exhibit ticket. Mandatory cafe stop after to journal highlights. This balance between discipline and self-kindness is the essence of sustainable independence. Looking ahead, as we move to Chapter 3, we'll explore the practical toolkit, from my revolutionary medication matrix to handling skeptical relatives who ask, should you really be traveling alone at your age? With grace and humor. But remember this above all. The scariest moments often become the stories you'll treasure most. Like the time in Crete when I got lost and ended up at a family's olive harvest festival, but that's a story for next time. The scent of lavender still clung to my sweater as I stood in the Marseille train station, watching the digital board flicker with delays. 15 years ago, this moment would have sent me into a panic, stranded in a foreign country. Alone, with limited French, but now, I simply adjusted my scarf, patted the small leather pouch around my neck, more on that later, and smiled. This wasn't a crisis, it was an opportunity to enjoy an extra café au lait while people watching. This quiet confidence didn't come overnight. It's the result of what I call the Independence Toolkit, a collection of practical systems, mental frameworks, and yes, a few physical items that have transformed my solo travels from stressful to sublime. The medication matrix, your pharmaceutical safety net. Let's start with the least glamorous but most critical tool. During my first international trip alone at 75, I brought my medications in a simple weekly pill organizer. Then my flight was diverted, stranding me for 2 extra days. By hour 36, I was frantically counting pills on a hotel bathroom counter, trying to ration my blood pressure medication. Never again. My foolproof system. The primary organizer. A compact, weekly AM/PM pill case with just 1 week's supply. This goes in my day bag. The emergency reserve. 3 extra days worth of each medication in a tiny zippered pouch that never leaves my body. I wear it on a travel lanyard under my clothes. The digital backup. Photos of all prescriptions on my phone, both the original bottle labels and the generic drug names. Plus a list of my pharmacist's contact info who can verify dosages internationally. When I developed bronchitis in Portugal last year, this system allowed a local doctor to safely prescribe antibiotics within 20 minutes. The pharmacist even complimented my organization, high praise from a medical professional. The 5 layers packing strategy. Packing light is the holy grail. But at our age, certain non-negotiables exist. My solution? The layer method. Layer 1. Absolute essentials. Medications, see above. Passport plus copies. Emergency cash in multiple locations. I sew a $100 bill into my jacket lining. Prescription glasses backup. Layer 2. Comfort defenders. Compression socks, game changer for long flights. Silk sleep sack. Avoids questionable hotel sheets. Collapsible walking stick. Doubles as a defensive tool. Layer 3. Emotional first aid. A physical book. No battery anxiety. Mini watercolor set. Creative grounding. Grandchildren photos in a waterproof case. Layer 4. Strategic extras. Empty foldable tote. For unexpected markets. Ziploc bags. Endless uses from ice packs to waterproofing. Safety pins. Have fixed everything from hems to hotel curtains. Layer 5. The luxury item. One frivolous joy, for me. A lightweight cashmere wrap that feels like a hug from home. This system survived a luggage debacle in Buenos Aires where my suitcase took a 3-day detour. Thanks to my layers, I was inconvenienced but never desperate. Handling the skeptics. Graceful responses to, "Aren't you too old for this?" The TSA agent's eyebrows shot up as he examined my passport. "Ma'am, you're 80? His tone implied I should be in a rocking chair, not a security line. Over years, I've developed responses that educate without confrontation. For concerned strangers, how kind of you to worry. My doctor actually recommends staying active. Have you been to destination? The walking there is wonderful. For doubting relatives, remember when I taught you to ride a bike? You fell so many times but needed to try. I'm still learning too. For myself at 3 a.m. A list in my journal titled, "Proof I Can Handle This," documenting past successes like navigating Cairo's chaos or bargaining in Shanghai. The departure ritual. Setting up for success. 30 minutes before any flight, I complete what my granddaughter calls Nana's pre-flight checklist. Hydration boost. 1 electrolyte packet in water to combat dry cabin air. Seat strategy. Always an aisle near the front for easier deplaning, worth the extra fee. Time check. Set watch to destination time immediately to start mental adjustment. Neighborhood recon. Google Earth walkthrough of the route from airport to lodging. Gratitude pause. 1 deep breath while thinking. I get to do this. This ritual transformed a turbulent flight to Iceland from terrifying to triumphant. I was too busy following my system to panic. When technology fails. Analog workarounds. The morning my phone drowned in a Venetian canal. Lesson. Never check tide tables while walking. I discovered the enduring power of low-tech solutions. Paper maps. Hotels still give them free. Encircling landmarks creates a visual memory. Business cards. Always take one from your hotel. Showing it to taxi drivers solves most language barriers. The watch trick. Pointing to your wrist while looking desperate communicates, "I'm late," universally. I now travel with a tiny notebook containing key addresses in both English and the local language. A system that got me home safely when my replacement phone died in rural Provence. The homecoming. Making the transition back. After 2 weeks of vibrant independence, returning home can feel jarring. My re-entry ritual. Same-day laundry. Unpacking immediately prevents that suitcase of doom feeling. Photo review. Selecting 3 favorite memories to print and frame. Next trip planning. Even just researching one cafe or museum keeps the adventurous spirit alive. Wisdom journal. Noting what worked and what to adjust next time. This process helped me avoid post-trip blues after my Mongolia adventure. I was too busy planning my Scottish Highlands trip. The ultimate truth no one tells you. Here's the secret that took 8 decades to learn. The body may weaken, but the spirit can grow stronger every year, if you let it. That's why I still travel alone at 80. Not in spite of my age, but because of it. Each wrinkle represents a problem solved. Each ache a challenge overcome. When I stand on a new train platform, suitcase in hand, I'm not just a tourist. I'm living proof that curiosity and courage don't expire. Now, about that time I got invited to a traditional wedding in Rajasthan, but that's a story for another day. For now, I'll leave you with this. Your next adventure isn't just possible, it's waiting. All you need is your own toolkit and the wisdom to use it.